That dude's banning someone now.
Earth Shaker.
Five seconds remaining.
Get really close to the target, and then you can pull them along. This does damage, and also to either pull someone out of position or stack up the enemy. And stacking up the enemy is important for his ultimate, which stuns enemies in a nearby area.
You do have to be careful though with certain heroes, right? Because it can be good to displace an enemy and bring them closer to your team, but in some situations, bringing an Earthshaker into the middle of your team could be a bad thing.
Yeah, we've seen it backfire where you pull a target that you think you can kill, like Bristleback, for instance. We had him get pulled, people thinking that, oh, we can burst him, and then suddenly the Bristleback just turned the fight around and kill everyone. So definitely can be risky. And like you said, a big ultimate like a Tidehunter or Shaker, they will be happy to get essentially a free blink, just pulling you into the enemy team. And just click their ulti and off they go. And Shaker, of course, just a strong hero overall currently. We've seen him rise in popularity. His ability to stun up targets is unmatched in Dota, I would almost say. He is probably the single best control hero that you can ask for. All his abilities stun. He does tons of damage as well. He can block ground pathing, so throwing down the Fissure, people have to walk around it unless they have some flying or mobility spell.
And both these heroes picked up so far very good initiators, starting the fight with some kind of jump and catch ability, and also good reset heroes. So if one of your allies gets jumped on, both of these heroes are kind of good at coming in, scooping them up and saving them.
Exactly. Good counter initiators, you could say. Even if they don't have to go first, they're fantastic at waiting for their moment in a fight and then having the big turnaround impact.
Oh, here we go, Waga. Have fun with that one.
Yeah, okay, so Rubik, here we go. This is actually one of the most unique heroes in Dota. An amazing hero with unique design. He can steal pretty much any spell that is an active spell. So passives that you don't activate will not be stealable, but anything you cast, Rubik can say yoink, and now he can do that too. It's a pretty insane ultimate when you hear it explained like that. But wait, there's more. His stolen spell also becomes better. He can have debuff amplification, making the ultimate even better. He also has longer cast range, more damage on his spells. So basically Rubik is the better version of you. Very scary to go up against. And he also is known for his instantaneous disable. He has telekinesis and ability to lift someone. This is great for fantastically catching someone because it doesn't have a cast point. Telekinesis is just point and click. If someone is in your range, you disable them, and then you can move them around as well. You can lift them and slam them down on their teammates. This is used as a counter to Magnus. So in this particular game, it's to react to Magnus wanting to blink in. So if I, for instance, tell the Magnus to go here and then try to blink RP, let me get some vision, and we're just gonna tell Rubik to lift him. Oops, I did it too early. But we can have him blink in. Like this, here we go. And we're just gonna tell him to lift. And before he can do anything, we got the lift off. So you can see how his blink initiation didn't cast a spell immediately. You just got lift into the air. That's a big chain stun. So that's one big reason why you want Rubik on your team.
They're incredibly good at just turning things back on the opponents. Nice. Let's get a little combo there with the Shaker as well.
We also have some supports joining up here for Mr. Magnus. Can you cover a little bit about what we have joining him?
Yeah, we've got Lich and Grimstroke. So both supports here kind of combo together. And this is turning into a bit of a team fight combination draft from BetBoom, where they're going to launch themselves like massive spells and wombo combos, basically, where I guess wombo combo is what we call a big culmination of everyone's massive team fight ultis, like a nuclear attack on your opponents when you throw everything in the kitchen sink at them. So we start with the Magnus, who's that kind of initiator, and then Grimstroke and Lich have two big teamfight ultis that work in tandem together.
Exactly. So Grimstroke has an ulti that binds an enemy hero to a nearby enemy hero.
5
So
seconds
you can
remaining.
put two of them bound together. They cannot run away from each other. They're now chained together. And while they're chained together, any spell that's targeted and cast on them will be replicated and cast on the other target as well. Pair this up with Lich ulti, which is an ulti that bounces between two targets. And you can have two of these bouncing between two targets. This is a very devastating combination. If you use the two at the same time, you generally just obliterate your enemy in the team fight.
Yeah, absolutely do. And then you add, these are kind of ultimate abilities. That's what we'll be seeing when we enter team fights. But Grimstroke and Lich have a bunch of different spells with a lot of utility. So Lich primarily a good laning hero. So he's going to bodyguard and make sure that your carry is farming safely. Has a lot of
5
protective
seconds
utility
remaining.
through a shield. A lot of damage and slow to kind of stop people from chasing his allies as well.
Yeah, definitely. And then you also have Grimstroke can bring some silence to the enemy by putting a little embrace on them, the Phantom's Embrace. They have to attack it to get rid of it. While it's on them, they cannot cast any spell. And otherwise, he can just do some damage and also stun people with his Ink Swell that buffs a nearby ally or himself. And at the end of it, it will stun. You can also trigger that if he takes the right facet. He can trigger it at any point to stun earlier. And even more, we have joining up the Dawnbreaker coming in, a hero that has seen quite a bit of popularity lately.
Yeah, super strong off-lane hero in general. Has very strong laning capabilities. She's able to get on top of people pretty quickly or disengage using her hammer
Dire
to
team
kind of run forward and slam people or get away by chasing it. But her primary strength on Dawnbreaker is this spell here, the Global Ultimate. Solar Guardian lets you fly from one side of the map onto an allied target somewhere else. So if you have someone like the Earthshaker make this jump play where he can blink, initiate, start the fight, Dawnbreaker can follow globally.
Yeah, she can be
5
anywhere on the
seconds
map and she can join her team. She can only jump to allied heroes,
green
but
team
is a
is
great
banning
way to
someone now.
back up your team. That allows Dawnbreaker to often farm alone on the other side of the map and still be able to join her team. Other than that, she's a big brawly hero, very good at closing the distance with her W, which throws her hammer and then pulls herself toward it. And then she can go in and start smashing, stunning the enemy and dealing a lot of damage.
And then Oracle and Lycan, the next two picks.
5
So Team
seconds
Liquid, you
remaining.
mentioned earlier on, Oracle has been one of their go-tos for Insania. We've also seen Boxy pick it up though, but this Oracle, a very good saving hero and a combo breaker. Able to heal people up with a lot of regeneration and healing abilities. Has a spell which makes one of your allies invulnerable and you get to heal them in the duration of it, which is very good at turning around a team fight against something like a Magnus RP, because he jumps in, you stop him with your Rubik, you steal his spell, and then Oracle saves whoever he's gone on.
Yeah, exactly. We've seen Oracle overall be one of the nasty heroes who can counter any form of initiation usually in Dota. He has one of the strongest saves, and basically it comes
5
down to
seconds
if you try and
remaining.
focus one target really hard and they're about to die, Oracle can just wait nearby and last second he can come in and say, nope, you're not gonna die. Even if you keep hitting him, he's not gonna die until the very end of the false promise, and that's a long duration. So all that damage, yeah, it's prevented temporarily. At the end of the timing, they will take the damage, but during the Oracle
banning
ulti,
someone
healing
now.
is also doubled. So if Oracle throws a bunch of heals in, being a great healing hero with his Purifying Flames, he can usually save people even through heavy focus.
There's a lot of ability to turn around team fights in this game. A lot of abilities to, in this draft in particular, not just in
5
Dota
seconds
2,
remaining.
but in this draft in particular, lots of ways for both teams to get on top of people. Like the Lycan, this most recent pick from BetBoom, a very fast hero who's very good at getting on top of supports who like to play hidden in the fog. So we've already explained kind of how Rubik and Oracle like to play and what their goals and their aspirations are in this game. They often do it from a hidden position. So they're not heroes that will be showing on a creep wave or being out in the open and running towards opponents. They'll kind of be waiting for their moment and lurking in the shadows, looking for that perfect time
5 seconds
to stop the
remaining.
Magnus as Rubik or to save someone as Oracle. And that's where Lycan comes in and says, I'm going to hunt for you.
Radiant's
I'm going to
taking pick.
go around the back of the team fight and look for you hiding in the fog. And Ursa Warrior is a similar hero as well, very good at getting in there and taking people down quickly.
Yeah, with Ursa coming in, good at taking down people quickly, and also pretty damn good at surviving burst. Ursa has some fantastic survivability through his ultimate, which gives him up to 80. He gets 80%
5
damage reduction
seconds remaining.
and 50% status resistance, which can be increased through talents as well to get even more. Though usually we see the damage talent preferred by players, getting more Fury Swipes. Ursa has an ability that allows him to do more and more damage every time he hits a target, stacking for every single attack. So you can see he's taking more and more per hit, 37 extra per attack stacking,
done,
and
whoever
then
did that.
you get a debuff
Let's
on
just
you that
play
lasts for
Dota
quite a
2
while,
now, jeez.
making it very, very hard to
your hero.
man fight an Ursa for any longer period of time.
Yeah, so if these fights drag out for a while, or just in the laning stage in particular, if you're a hero who has to sit there and play in the lane, Ursa can keep hitting you, keep chasing you, and make it so you have to leave for a little bit.
Yeah. And finally, we have the Puck coming in, a hero that is known for his control abilities, being able to coil up enemies, leashing them in an area, and also stunning them if they snap the coil, if they leave it. On top of that, also has silence. So AoE, leash, silence, stun. Puck is very good at controlling and holding opponents into place, at the same time being probably the most slippery mid hero that you can ask for. A hero who can jump around, sending the orb out and then jumping towards it, and even just hiding in phase shift, being completely invisible, and not just invisible, untouchable during the phase shift.
Yeah, and a very good hero at controlling these speedy heroes who are trying to hunt your supports. So if Lycan, Ursa, and Magnus are trying to jump and find the catch on people, Puck is very good at just stopping them. Another way to kind of either reset or start the fight for your team. Now, Coil is a good time-buying utility spell, which can either allow you to get away from danger, stop this wolf who is look at how fast he is, sprinting at you, all of a sudden gets coiled up, and your Oracle's like, thank you, you've saved me from being eaten by this wolf.
Exactly. A great way to prevent him for a while. And that can be very necessary to have against Lycan. You don't want him to run over and hit your supports. Lycan can definitely look towards getting on the Rubik and the Oracle in this game. These are his primary two targets. If he can, of course, he wouldn't mind killing any of the other big targets, the core heroes. But Lycan is great hero for bullying the backliners.
Ready to get into game. Game one of this best of three. Drafts all done. Both teams move out of their fountain and get into position in this mid lane where we very often have this standoff situation where both teams are kind of systematically looking for the vision enemies are placing, trying to figure out if there are observer wards that have been placed anywhere, and using these smokes to reposition yourselves and get into a good
30
spot.
seconds.
And right now, Liquid have that slight advantage. Puck is a very fast hero at getting out of the fountain using his spells, so is able to get that early observer ward over on the enemy side of the river that's given vision here of the Ursa, and then another observer ward a bit further north.
Getting in and getting quick vision, but at the same time, the Lycan wolves are doing their job scouting as well. So Lycan using his summons to provide a little bit of information before the rune battle starts. There's going to be a bit of a scuffle at the top rune. Is just going to hop away.
Both teams get 2 bounty runes each.
Boom! Welcome to Imperium
Fair
Fighters
trade.
Guide to being a Dota 2
No extra
announcer.
advantage for anyone, but let's give all the players a little bit of gold.
So Magnus is mid. Kiyotaka's got that one against a Puck in the middle lane. I guess something we didn't touch on there was that Earthshaker did flex, or the Earthshaker pick was flexed. Usually we see him kind of in that mid lane role, but we've also seen him played as a carry, which Mickey will be showing here today as well.
This is new and exciting stuff, even for us veterans. You know, we're as excited as the newcomers for this, because this is just not something that we have seen much ever in Dota. Carry Shaker has happened before, but it's been a while. And recently it was brought to light again by Sumail, or by Miracle, sorry, in this tournament.
Yeah.
And we've seen a few different players play it as well.
And he's kind of kind of fits a lot, or takes a lot of boxes. And he needs one item to feel comfortable in getting things going. He can farm pretty damn quickly. He's a good teamfight initiator, and he does a lot of damage. He's also very tanky and hard to kill, so a lot of things you want from a carry or a core hero he fulfills very nicely.
It's just a bit untraditional because a lot of the carries you expect will be fast-hitting, heavy damage dealing heroes, but Shaker is a little bit slower in how he attacks at least. That doesn't mean that he can't burst people using that ulti.
We're looking for that massive damage single hit rather than lots of little ones.
For now, just poking and prodding at each other here on the bottom lane. Constant harassment from the Oracles. Not really doing too much. He's not known for his amazing harass ability. Being a good saving hero. Doing the first one up on the top lane.
Yeah, it's level 2 on these two liquid heroes here. They got both of their spells, and both of them are very good at killing people. So Boxy is able to lift someone up, put them closer to Saberlight's Dawnbreaker. Dawnbreaker then has a spell which does damage and stuns them, just like that. Throws it back onto Kataomi, and it's pure Ursa. Well, he's come in here to try and do some damage onto Saberlight, but he's dying because of Boxy and Saberlight's ability to turn that around and reposition him.
Dawnbreaker and Rubik Lane showing its strength. The combination is very, very potent, having 2 stuns and a slow on top of that, and then a repositioning from the telekinesis. You can so easily get caught out of position.
Something that BetBoom would love to replicate down bottom here with the Grimstroke and the Lycan. They've got that potential to Inkswell one of the wolves. The Grimstroke can put one of his spell onto Lycan's summons and run it forward to actually catch the Oracle here.
It's just has to be careful about the Shaker, because those wolves, they can go onto the Oracle, but if he gets too close to the Shaker with his wolves, Shaker might just kill them immediately with an enchant and punching them.
Saberlight dropped very low, but he had a fair amount of regen to keep himself kind of in fighting shape. And right now it looks like he's close to death, but he knows that the enemy team doesn't have enough damage to actually kill him outright. So Saberlight is kind of towing the line here.
Yeah, he's staying on the lane, gonna keep farming. He even used a little trick where you plant an iron branch and then use a tango onto the tree that you put down. This guy gives you extra duration on your tango, giving you more regen than if you ate a normal tree.
18 trees is good for you.
Yeah, very healthy.
And look how they go again. Saberlight has that gap closed so he can reach the Lich with the hammer. Looks like they didn't feel like they had enough mana or damage to finish him off, so just another bit of scare tactics there to kind of keep BetBoom on their toes.
Still, the threat is looming all the time on this lane. Pure has to be so cautious not to go out of position, and Kataomi doing the best he can at providing safety on this lane. That's the Lich trying to deal some damage.
Usually as the Lich, you'd love to be pulling that small camp to kind of reset where the lane is, but at the same time you have to play the lane to keep the Ursa happy. So it's a hard balance to strike, and it can be a difficult vibe check sometimes in the lane when, as a support, you feel it's natural to be pulling, stacking, going to get runes, making moves, but sometimes the right thing to do is literally sit and hold the hand of your carry.
That's true. Pulling is a big thing that we could talk a bit more about. So in general, you pull the creeps into the neutral, the small camp or the big camp that's next to the creep wave. And if you do that, it denies some farm from the opponents.
It's like the opposite of stacking, right? We've got stacking, which increases the farm, builds up the neutral camps, and we've got pulling, which kills the neutral camps into your wave. As BetBoom bring an additional hero up top, save thinking he can't get too much utility out of his hero down bottom. So instead, plays with that Ursa, gets Pure involved, and relieves some of the pressure that Liquid were putting up there.
And that's going to be a good rotation. Meanwhile, at the same time, the Lycan is trying to deal with the Oracle using his wolves. But he actually ended up pulling the small camp for the enemy, but that might be good for him. A single pull is going to stack the creep wave, and that will in turn push the lane eventually. So Lycan will get his farm. He's even going to go and pick up the creeps right now.
Yeah, so usually when you're pulling, you either want to do a half pull where you pull that small camp into half of the wave, so the neutral camp dies, is basically the goal. Nisha jumped in here to kill off the Magnus, but Bedboom have some turnaround potential with Save and Kiyotaka arriving. They're able to kill off Boxy, but a good move by Liquid there to kill off the enemy mid laner first.
Yeah, fantastic start for the Puck, and Puck doing pretty good in this game. I thought he would struggle a little bit more going up against Magnus, but Nisha is, you know, one of, if not the most outstanding Puck players in the pro scene. Always looks like he's doing amazing. Doesn't really matter what matchup he's in. Magnus does have tremendous right click damage, so could out CS Puck and just get more last hits in the lane. But Nisha has used that harassment ability of the Puck, continuously auto-attacking his enemy, and has ended up doing really well in this lane.
A couple of questions. Who has the better mid to late game?
That's always a great question to ask. I would say, in my opinion, I like Dyer's late game more here. I would justify that by saying that Magnus, Lyke, and an Ursa all scale pretty damn well going into late game if you get some items on them. Whereas you could say the same for the Puck Shaker and Dawnbreaker, but they're a little bit less right-clicky and more based on landing big spell casts. Whereas if you just get enough items on Ursa, he's going to kill people whether there's coordination or not. And he's going for a Battle Fear build in this game as well, so he's aiming to get farmed. But then again, Carry Shaker hasn't been seen that much in the pro scene, and the potential of it is pretty damn high, I think. So I wouldn't give a big edge, just maybe a tiny edge going later on.
Okay. Arrow getting stunned up a little bit here. Yeah, throwing their spells at this Lycan, trying to kill him off. As much damage as they can onto him, but Miero's too tanky. Minute 7 is coming up though, so the Wisdom Runes, very important objective here, are about to spawn, and that's why Liquid are playing very aggressively into the enemy side of the map, kind of putting the fear into Bedboom here. And Kataomi was trying to do a similar thing up top, but he was alone. He didn't bring his carry with him, so he's dead while trying to come and steal the Wisdom Rune.
Yeah, it's a very, very predicted move right there. People always want to get in and try and fight for the Wisdom Rune, so Liquid doing the right thing, setting up a trap and getting a kill on the way.
There's the wolf with the Inkswell on it. And Grimstroke put this spell on the Lycan summon. Mickey, he's still level 5, doesn't have the ultimate, but he feels strong enough here to turn around and fight because he's got that help. The rest of his team arrives. Foxy teleported to the tower, and Dawnbreaker with her ultimate, hitting level 6 this early on is super nice. Has that global Solar Guardian we saw in the preview.
Yeah, amazing to have, and provides a lot of safety. He's immediately going to make his way back to his own lane, but being able to impact any other lane like this is the big reason why Dawnbreaker is favored so highly in pro games right now. There are a few heroes that can have this impact. You can either play Dawnbreaker or maybe Zeus sometimes to pop a global Zeus ulti. Anything that can provide assistance globally is always going to be very convenient to have.
There was another question earlier on. Why isn't the Oracle self-healing? Is it because his early levels of heal aren't mana efficient?
Yeah, early game as a support, you do not have that much mana to spend, so you got to be very careful about how you allocate your mana. In Dota in general, I would say you don't necessarily have mana to just continuously spam spells in laning stage, except for when you're some type of core heroes like Bristleback.
Ulti being thrown there onto the Grimstroke kill off save. Nisha's Puck making the first real move out of the mid lane here to break down the laning stage completely. And the Ursa has also migrated his spot lane to come and fight down bottom. Pure joining in, but can't really launch himself onto a target because Liquid have created a nice barrier there to protect their retreat.
The Ursa relies heavily on one of his spells to be able to deal damage. He wants to have overpower up, so he increases his attack speed by 400 for the next number of attacks. But Oracle quickly dispelled that with his ability, so Insania with some good foresight, befitting of the hero Oracle, counters the initiation from the Ursa there.
Right, and there's that added value of the Oracle as well. We saw Liquid running a strategy early on in this tournament where they have 3 heroes which are kind of cheesy. Templar Assassin, a hero that was banned in this game, lets you know when Roshan respawns. Oracle lets you know where the rune will spawn, and they had an Undying which just respawns. Yeah. So a lot of tools there to kind of manipulate or have knowledge about respawn timers of things on the map.
Yeah, in this game, We don't have a way to know where the power rune is going to be if we're on the side of Bet Boom. Every 2 minutes, the power rune will spawn. But Oracle, already camping that top rune, has already predicted that the rune will be here.
That's why Nisha's up there, but Kiyotaka has a big ultimate. Throws in the reverse polarity, catches out Nisha thanks to save silence as well. And now both Liquid supports are going to get munched on.
Wow, beautiful. You get 3 kills, you get the rune, and you invade and start stealing the enemy stacks. We showed before the game as well that this area is very valuable, stacking up and getting some farm. Going in here and getting stacked big camp as well. That was just enormous for Bet Boom.
And we see a little bit of this value from the Empower. You know, Magnus, we talked about his displacement, his team fighting, his big ultimate ability. But he also offers you some utility. Empower, you see the little blue icon around the Ursa's hands. He's been buffed up by his Magnus that lets him cleave and do AoE attacks with his right clicks. So when he goes to steal those stacks, he's doing
That's pretty funny. Both of them through the door.
Yeah.
Mike was on the other side of the door, basically trying to go through the top lane, but the gank comes down and they immediately spot him as well and catch him. With him coming up at Boom right now.
Top tower gonna fall over soon.
There is vision here for Liquid, so they see the bear come back to the twin gate.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Around a little bit of a timing here, Liquid are using a catapult wave to try and push this tier 1 tower. Lift it to keep the creep wave alive, and even get a few spells onto Pure. Bet Boom are going to respond. A couple of teleport scrolls used to bring 2 supports up top, and they tried to get the combo going there. So that's Grimstroke's ulti on Saberlight. Doesn't connect to an enemy hero though, so they couldn't go for the Soulbind into Chain Frost play, which we showed and wanted so much earlier on. Instead, Cat only has the Chain Frost naturally into Boxy to kill off Rubik, and then gets turned on immediately.
Still got a kill before he died, so good play by Kathomi on the Lich, realizing they could pull him into the neutral creeps and bounce his ulti around. Lich ulti always requiring extra targets, but he used the neutral camp as a way to kill his enemy there.
Again, we find ourselves in a very close game in terms of kills, net worth lead. Not much separating these two teams. But so far, it's felt like Liquid kind of stepping out on the map and making moves to claim a bit of space, especially up in this top left corner. And Bet Boom, they're trying to boot Liquid out of this area of the map, but so far, they kind of remove them, but they don't get any kills.
Yeah, Liquid are putting up a fight. They're also bringing their mid-hero again. So Puck wanting to play this area, and they have to concede control of this area. And I think Grimstroke might be in trouble, trying to get away, but gets lifted and smashed. Bing bong.
Bet Boom saw that coming with an Observer Ward, and they also did manage to kill the Liquid vision that was up on the Twin Gate. So Bet Boom have some small victories there.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Here's Boxy with a level 4 stolen spell, Shockwave, and level 1 Arcane Supremacy, so extended cast range.
Yeah,
a bit of spell amplification.
Pretty cool thing to mention that Ruby can steal a spell and he will get the same level as the spell was cast, but he's level 6. Normally, you could not have a level 4 spell at level 6, but since the hero he stole it from had a level 4 spell, he gets it as well.
Yeah. And then if Rubik has Aghanim's Shard or Aghanim's Scepter, he also gets that upgrade too.
Exactly. Rubik is the sole reason for the game breaking in a ton of different funny ways due to his interaction of stealing any spell. It makes the game broken in many different ways repeatedly. Don't know of any bug right now with it necessarily that's gonna affect this game, but
he's well known for his spaghetti.
Yeah, the usual culprits. Stacks being made on the ancient stacks are really adding up now. Radiant have a 4 stack, a quad stack going on, so that's a lot of gold to cash in on. Looks like Puck might be the one to clear it out now.
Yeah, so another comment in chat. Someone says it feels like it's been 12 minutes and the ancients were only cleared once by the Ursa. And that's kind of what happens when one team is pressuring and are ahead. Like Liquid's top lane here did very well, so they pressured the Ursa and they were able to build stacks early on. Whereas Bet Boom on the back foot were constantly trying to put out fires. And now they've had a bit of freedom, a little bit of breathing room. this is when Ursa is able to kind of shift away from lane and into jungle, for the Ancients in particular.
Exactly. It's been a very active game. Pro games are played higher tempo than a lot of pub games will be, so there's a lot of moving, posturing, or joining your team to try and fight for control of their areas. That means he hasn't been farming that much. You see an RP used to pull back the Dawnbreaker to the Ursa. Magnus coming in with that repositioning tool.
And then the Empower as well, so Ursa can go straight back to farming.
Is under attack.
Yeah, now he has Battle Fury and Empower. Both of these things give him extra clean. So right now he's doing more damage to the targets he's not hitting than the target he is hitting, which is pretty funny.
Makes him very speedy at clearing out waves in neutral camps. Team Liquid, they're all rallying up in this top left corner though. And it's currently nighttime, so Roshan does live up in this top left corner on the dire side, but I don't know if these teams are like vying for control of Roshan this early on.
It's important enough to at least, you know, be ready for it, because Ursa can take that super fast Rosh in particular. The Liquid squad not really looking to take Rosh this early. They don't have great heroes for it, but Ursa with his additive damage per hit, getting more and more damage over time, can definitely take an early Rosh.
So Liquid are there preemptively protecting against Boom trying to steal a Roshan, basically.
Yeah, definitely. And meanwhile, we see Miero has found himself the Hammer of Dominators to have that dragon flying around.
Okay. Oh, there's that counter initiation. Mickey uses his Echo Slam to stop the combo of the Magnus. Kiyotaka gets punished for it, but there's the combination. Soul Bind with the Chainsaw, bouncing frost damage everywhere, and people getting dragged left and right. Sable has jumped down to the low ground and is trying to kill off the Lich. Saves Grimstroke doing some good damage back, but doesn't finish off the Dawnbreaker. And now Betboom down 3 heroes because Mickey was very fast at clicking a button.
What a fantastic fight from Liquid. Good reaction there by Mickey, and the rest of his team reacting quickly as well to what could have been a disaster. The Lich and Grimstroke combination coming out. But they quickly dealt the split as much as they could. Everyone run their own direction, scatter, and then take the fight. Dawnbreaker living just
has fallen.
barely there in that fight. She was even taken down by a blood grenade, but it wasn't enough to bring her down.
I didn't see what happened to the rest of them. I guess Oracle got chased by the Lycan and had to ulti himself.
Yeah, he had to protect himself because Lycan is gonna run on the backline almost always. Until he gets Orchid, I think he won't be going for bigger targets. So Lycan is trying to build Orchid because that allows him to silence targets, and he needs that against the Shaker, against the Puck, or he won't be able to kill these heroes. Lycan is amazing at dealing damage, but he does not have control. This is the epitome of a non-controlling hero. No disable, no stun, no silence built in. So you kind of need to solve that item-wise.
Yeah, we have a phrase for that, right? In Dota, we say just TP home. Just TP.
Yeah.
If you've got someone who's fast and does a lot of damage, but they can't stun you, just TP home.
Yeah, no reason to die to them if you can get to safety. The way the game is shaping out, though, still we have Liquid's, 1,000 gold ahead, but I would say it's very, very even, since Betboom have the Battle Fury Ursa farming up and the Dominator on Lycan. Both of them are still growing pretty rapidly as well.
This is absolutely one of those games where one little bit of vision or one good read of the situation can just win a team fight. Like a big initiation from the Earthshaker, followed through with the Solar Guardian of his Dawnbreaker, can break a team fight. And equally, what we just saw, that Magnus jumping on the Earthshaker, if there had been, a split-second difference in Kiyotaka's initiation, that could have been a dead Earthshaker, and Betboom winning the team fight resoundingly. What it takes is, one good move from some of these snappy initiation heroes to just undo the positioning and break the ranks of your opponents. Like right now, Kiyotaka goes straight in onto the Dawnbreaker with a combination out of the Grimstroke and Lich. There we go. That's what we've been waiting to see properly.
Yeah, Puck got surprised there as well. Didn't expect to get caught. The bind is one thing. Puck could hide right after it, right, and try to survive in some way. But Lich, using his pull onto the closest targets, replicates onto the Puck, who is super far away, but still gets pulled by a Sinister Gaze, getting pulled closer and then comboed up. And this gives them a quick moment to just go and take Rosh.
Maybe they're doing Rosh. Wait,
This is kind of old school combo that we haven't seen much recently. Grimstroke, a hero that's not played an awful lot, but Lich has been on the rise, and Dota is kind of cyclical in nature, where people forget about something that's strong, and they come back to it later on, and you kind of forget how good it can be until you see it with your own eyes.
Yeah, we had a lot of old classics being used. This is, a nice combination that's been prevalent for a lot of Dota 2. We had the CM Juggernaut yesterday, which was, a super old school classic, and a lot of off-meta things being used in the final days here. At least Lich is super strong in the current meta, very popular, so it makes sense to try and pair it up with the Grimstroke as well.
Now, for what feels like the first time this game, Liquid are properly on the back foot. Also having that Aegis means he's got 2 lives now. Killing that Roshan gives him a nice boost of gold, so a 2,000 network lead is there for BetBoom. And they're going to use this comfort to go and play aggressively. But he stole the reverse polarity and stuns the Magnus, broke the combo. That's why Rubik was hit against the Magnus. Completely counteracts Kiyotaka's initiation. He is now looking at this pure Ursa, but he sees targets further back and says the Ursa's not worth my time. I can't blow him up. But go and jump this Lich and Grimstroke and just dismantle them completely.
And they split quickly. Look at them trying to delta split when the Lich ulti comes out. It was a nice combo, but there was nothing else. So even though they landed the Lich ultis, can't really bring down Liquid. And Liquid bite back quickly. We say they're on the back foot, and within 30 seconds, they flip the script entirely again.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of fits the narrative, though, right? Talking about how in this game, one play, one move can turn the tides of battle. Absolutely apparent there. Kiyotaka, again, feeling comfortable, starting to get into the rhythm of the game, makes a play, and it looks like a good one to start with. But Liquid have there's a lot of call and response in this game, right? Questions being posed and then the answer being given. Kiyotaka jumps, asks the question of, are you going to stop me from killing your heroes? And Rubik says, yes, actually. Yes, I am.
And Rubik, by the way, stole the reverse polarity, and he keeps that. He still has the reverse polarity now, so in 40 seconds time, he will have it ready to go again. The spell steal lasts for quite a while, scaling with his level on his ulti, so 3 minutes for a level 1 ulti, meaning he has a bit of a timing window of 1 minute where he can go and use this ulti.
That could be a huge turning point in this next fight.
Yeah, because
then still have this Aegis, so a second life on Ursa is still there. They kill the Tormentor for a bit of money and the free shard, and they jump the puck. A lot of disables, but pure bash.
Instant bash. Just blink first hit bash from the Ursa, not much you can do about that.
We've got a 25% chance to bash. First time, every time.
Yeah, that's, typical bullshit happening as a puck player. He's like, why is it a first hit bash? If Ursa didn't immediately stun up the puck, Puck has great ways of escaping. Having the Yule Scepter, Blink, and his abilities could probably have gotten away from that. But sometimes you gotta pray to the random gods and get a bash.
We're in that period of the game now where pretty much everyone has their first and second items, and it's BKB time. We're looking at all these teamfight capabilities, we're looking at all these initiation tools, and the cores are saying, we need protection. We need some way to kind of battle through this. So right now, pretty much every core's goal is to buy a BKB.
Yeah, the only one who's not buying one is Puck. Puck is going for a Parasma, but other than that, Dawnbreaker already has her, so she is ahead of the pack. Earthshaker, TP's base, he's going to have his now as well. It's coming up as Courier. And BKB, of course, for anyone who's not aware, is the item that gives you that golden status of magic immunity. Diva Bomb, as it's called.
Just gets absolutely shredded in that mid lane. So the BetBoom, they swoop through here, they get a tower, and Liquid are respecting the death ball here of BetBoom. When they're grouped up as 5, they are very strong and scary. Because if they can set up in an area and get some vision, jump could undo what Liquid are doing. So Liquid opting to kind of mirror the movements here, try and push down bottom, get into that jungle a bit. Green into the next round of items.
Yeah, they're respecting the Aegis primarily. The Ursa having that second life from the Roche, but it's timing out in 20 seconds. And I think Liquid want to take a fight. They have the BKBs. They're going to group up now. We see them smoke up out of their base, making an aggressive move. Purple potions are here. They're on the Liquid team.
The powerful purple potions.
Oh, they have Arcane Rune on Puck. the most amazing rune to have on a puck as well. That reduces the cooldown of all your abilities and items when you activate it.
They've immediately found a catch onto the Lich. So only the one to die. Not ideal for Liquid. When you're using a smoke like this, you would love to get a catch on a core hero, kill them off, because that gives you more map space, more time to go and do your next activity. It might still have one though. It's actually gone deeper into the jungle and found Miero, who was being a little greedy.
He was trying to TP out, but stayed a little bit too long, gets caught by that high mobility of the puck and the shaker. Both of them can jump around very quickly.
And then once you kill a core hero, you're kind of back to push out the lanes, retake control of areas of the map which BetBoom have come and warded up. So Boxy's Rubik here should be planting some sentries, getting some D-wards or not.
He's got sentries on the courier. They're gonna come out soon. He doesn't have them on him, so Ward is gonna stay alive for now.
I thought it was just gonna be a perfect moment of him doing it as I said it.
He refuses to cooperate with you, Gareth.
Not happening. Ooh, Lycan's ancient creep that he took over with the Helm of the Overlord dies there and gives a lot of money.
Always hard to keep that creep alive as you head a little bit later into the game. Right when you get it at like 15 minutes, it's super strong and hard to deal with. But now, 26 minutes into the game, they start having enough damage on the team of Liquid to actually kill that creep.
But now the BKBs are starting to come up. Wait, hang on a second. Okay. Shaker. Creep wave. Pure takes that as a sign of aggression. Soulbind from save, leashes up the Earthshaker with a Dawnbreaker, and Pure turns to kill him.
That was a great Soulbind. Oh, Pure trying to shoot the out.
Still giving a lot of damage here, and used by Puck to cancel the TP. Kiyotaka is in with a two-man reverse polarity, catches two core heroes, but doesn't have the full follow-up that he would love. Still going to get in there with the Grimstroke's help to kill off both Dawn and Puck, though. BetBoom striking back. Some over-eager movement from Team Liquid put them in an awkward position.
And a tip coming out on Kataomi, who used his Lich ulti to kill an illusion. So a tip from his friend, he's like, what are you doing? Why are you ulting an illusion? I think he was trying perhaps to save Grimstroke from the illusion killing him, because he was getting slowly ticked down. The illusion of Puck. He does kind of waste his Lich ulti. Either way, great fight for them. Yes, you lose your Ursa, but getting 4 kills, the Grimstroke bind was amazing in that fight. It leashed the Shaker so he can't jump around. If you get bound and there's no other hero nearby, then you can still jump around. But since the Dawnbreaker was close enough that the two heroes will link together, at that point you are leashed.
Both teams kind of calling each other's bluff in that mid lane, right? Kind of important, the center of the map, be able to push out that mid wave across the river because it opens avenues of attack into the enemy's territory. So mid-case Earthshaker there blinking to clear the creep wave, thinking he's safe, saying, hey, BetBoom, you wouldn't dare come and attack me here. You don't have heroes here, right? And BetBoom, they kind of return fire and say, yes, we do. We've got heroes. Pure just stands and fights it.
Lovely to see the teams playing aggressive Dota, both of them very, very active. We'll probably see a lot of action around the Roshan, who's about to respawn soon as well. In 30 seconds times, we know that he will respawn. The players just know that he could already spawn at any given moment already.
For that fight, I wanted to get into, maybe now's the time for it, because BKBs are either up or are coming up very shortly. And we have some spells, I think Rubik in particular, we can talk about piercing debuff immunity.
Yeah, true. There's a number of spells in this game that will pierce. Oh, the slam misses.
Seed save. And now Nisha almost gets 3 hit by Pure's Ursa. Phase shifts and dodges away from danger, but the skewer perfectly timed. So as the puck comes out of that invulnerability phase shift, Magnus was on top of the puck and had the spell land. Now they've got the takedown on Boxy as well.
Boom, just clutch reactions there. That was the small details, you know, the fast reflexes from these players. Was it Kiyotaka getting jumped and blinked away from the Shaker ulti? He was the target. It was some fast reflex. Barely had time to see it myself.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah. the Shaker ulti was completely whiffed. At first I was like, wait, they tried to nuke the puck, but they're on the same team, so that was not it. It was definitely the Magnus.
That makes so much more sense. I thought they were trying to chase the Grimstroke, and the Grim just like glimmered and walked away. If Kiyotaka blinked out of it, that makes a lot of sense. As Kiyotaka's going to find a moment here. A save. A false promise from the Oracle. There's a lot of damage onto Mickey though as he tries to get back to Fountain, but they've got stuns to stop his TP. Now both of them will die.
Aw, he deserved to live. That was such a last-second Oracle ulti. He barely had a sliver of HP. But in the end, that's going to be 2 kills instead, so save attempt was nice, but they lose 1 extra hero for it. Dawnbreaker. We have a thing that's unique to this hero that we haven't covered. Break of Dawn. So whenever the sun comes out, which is every full 10 minutes, she will reveal the entire map to her team. Which is a crazy effect. You get full vision for 5 seconds.
And we know how important vision has been in this game so far. Seeing people and initiating on them has been the key to success for Betboom throughout the last couple of minutes. A good couple of questions in chat. So first of all, how do you make the wolf just follow but not attack?
Yeah, so you can move command the wolf. If you right click someone, that's going to attack. But if you press M is the default move command, and then left click a target, you put the wolf to follow them. And it will follow them until perhaps someone turns a corner and Fog of War is going to prevent the wolves from seeing the target. So it may still take a little bit of micro to make sure that you follow them through tree lines and whatnot. But if you want to follow an ally, you can move command. You know, perhaps don't do that. People get mad if you're just following an ally around. But it's a great way to not break the vision.
And then how do you learn the skewer timing to catch the puck?
Yeah, that's hours and hours of practice right there to do it perfectly. Puck could have come out at any given point as well, but he does know the 3.25 second full duration perfectly. If puck stays for that long, just gotta get good. Doing stuff perfectly, doing stuff perfectly like that takes hours and hours of experience. These players, they have practiced a lot.
That's like the Dawnbreaker coming in here to try and help Mickey, but he has to blink away quickly. They thought maybe they could turn that with Mickey's dying breath, but Saberlight now has to TP home. But yeah, it's very much like playing poker, right? You can have all the maths, you can have all the statistics. Puck, the bash from Pure, this percentage chance bash just seems to always hit on his first attack.
And Nisha
a little scared.
Nisha probably getting pretty frustrated with that, and he gets caught by the Lich.
He does. Kataomi's there with a sinister gaze and this chain cross bouncing. Orchid starters him, so Puck has to Yules. Phase shift couldn't be used, and Nisha's dead.
I was surprised he didn't get the phase shift out after the Yule Scepter there. He did get force staffed by Boxy, so maybe he was trying to get a little bit closer first. But that's a huge kill for them. Diving in.
The angry, hungry bear is in your face, munching on your support inside the fountain. Fountain farming is usually a bad-mannered move, but Pure is doing it here to stop out any hopes of comeback from Liquid.
At this point in time as well, so early, you can see the aggression from Betboom just diving in. 16,000 lead. Killing heroes left, right, and center, forcing the buyback of the Oracle. Shaker is looking for a chance to defend with an ulti, but they also know that he's coming. They're spreading out their units, not stacking up the heroes. You see Lycan not going in and auto-attacking. He's respecting that Shaker could come in with big ulti, so he doesn't want to stack up for that.
Just to finish that point on the puck thing, sometimes it's like in poker, right, where you have the soul read. It doesn't matter about the stats or the numbers or what you should be doing here, what the expected value is going to be. You have that soul read on someone and you know when to go.
Exactly. These players, they mind game each other. There's always several steps ahead. Smoke comes in from Liquid now, looking to defend, but there's an Aegis on the Ursa. So
kind of the last chance.
Middle barracks is fallen.
Don't want to lose all your buildings. Lost their racks mid and bottom, so they have 1/3 of their base remaining, and they have to defend it valiantly. If you lose your final lane of racks, that's almost always guaranteed loss. That's how devastating it is. If the enemy get mega creeps, it is very, very hard to come back from that.
It's one of those weird curves where first racks, first set of barracks falling is like, oh shit, that hurts, that kind of sucks. Second lane of barracks is like, okay, whatever, we already lost one. Two is no big deal. And then the curve swings back again. It's like third one's like, oh, that really sucks.
Yeah, definitely. We see Liquid trying to, with a second smoke, find a good fight. They know how bad they are in this game. Their positioning being so rough. They're not going to
breaks the smoke, and he jumps the puck. They found Nisha here with the stun and dances. Soulbound up. Oracle's dead. Nisha's still alive somehow. And Liquid tried to strike into the heart of Bedroom, killing off a couple of supports. Mickey and Boxy on his far right-hand side tried to re-enter the fight, but Bedroom's core hero, seemingly too strong, able to withstand the onslaught, killing everybody who stands in their way, and Bedroom slicing through Liquid there.
A lot of that thanks to the Hex coming out from the Magnus as well. Huge item to have an instant targeted disable that does work with the Grimstroke Soulbind as well, allowing them to just catch people. Poor Puck relies on trying to be hard to kill, but the blind RP done it for him.
He tried to go for it, and Pure testing his basher at this time. No first hit bash, no stun. Get that immediate on-hit disable. Pure even going to go and hit him in the fountain.
Give him a slap and walk away. Put him in his place.
Middle tower is under attack.
How quickly the game can fall apart. You know, Puck, a slippery hero, out on the map trying to push out waves, get information, catch people. Bedroom have done a tremendous job in shutting down a maneuverable hero through their own moves. Yes, they get lucky with the back shot from Pure, but the smoke gangs from Bedroom defining the Puck was so valuable.
Yeah, they really were. They have great tools to deal with Puck as well. With items they bought, the Orchid, the Hex, they itemized in a good way to deal with him. Final attempted defense. They do go down the Magnus. Losing Puck again.
Yeah, the dive back on Nisha. So, looking too hot here for Liquid. Try and clear out the wave and defend their throne, but Pure and Nero can just hit the building here. It looks like the one breaker with the Solar Guardian going to get dodged by the Lycan.
Nero is hitting the building. Eyes on the prize. He wants to end.
This there seems unkillable with BKB active range. We've talked about it in the draft, that natural tankiness can you withstand all of the damage. And Bedboom take game one.
In a very strong fashion as well. It was pretty back and forth for a while in the early game, but Bedboom, the confidence of them diving the fountain, the way they found these pickoffs, and the coordination was really there. The Grimstroke Lich worked out so well for them. I think Soulbind was a big reason they won this game, to be honest. Dave just looking amazing as he has been in the previous games we cast as well. The support on Bedboom, the POS 4, he's definitely delivering this tournament.
Yeah, and in general, Bedboom kind of looked sharper than Team Liquid. You know, the first 10 minutes, Liquid's laning stage, their first couple of moves looked very nice, and they were kind of going through the motions of what we expect from Liquid. And then Bedboom threw up some hurdles, and they said, okay, challenge us at this objective, challenge us here. Then Liquid kind of started falling apart. And Bedboom get that first Roshan, get the Aegis, they take some tier 1s, some tier 2s, and this lead starts building and building. And Team Liquid, I see some comments in chat about the Earthshaker carry, and there is a certain level of risk, right, with Mickey having to initiate as your position 1.